Hey, what up, though? How y'all faring? I guess your man, your friend, and family member, Brian Lee here. Once again, everything on this channel is alleged, in my opinions, for entertainment purposes only. Once again, everything on this channel is alleged, in my opinions, for entertainment purposes only. Once again, everything on this channel is alleged, in my opinions, for entertainment purposes only. It's 901. You saw the thumbnail. You know why you're here. Let's get some intel on Love and Marriage Huntsville, shall we? So, Chris Fletcher calls everyone out for dinner. There is no seeing arrangements at this dinner. Stormy and Courtney arrived with their baby. They missed the first flight. Um, Getting to Houston, and the babysitter missed her connecting flight. And Stormy and Courtney really don't want to be on this trip. They did not want to be there. So then, Marcel feels a way about Chris fixing Nell a plate, and excuse me, and someone asked, well, what's wrong with, fixing what's wrong with Chris fixing Nella plate? And Marcel said, nothing. I'm just surprised. And Melody asked Marcel, have you ever fixed Tisha a plate? And Marcel said, when she was sick. And Maurice said, you don't make plates all the time. And also Maurice said that he doesn't fix plates either. And so, Marcel then says, and I quote, listen, I thought I was the worst brother. but dude, listen. So, Maurice talks about what he said to Carlos, and he was just trying to joke on Carlos more than anything else. Kimmy said that sometimes people say things that come out wrong. And Kimmy's issue is that it took too long to recognize that it was wrong. Um, it says, in my notes, it says, Melody said that if he feels that way in his heart and mind, that's more concerning than what you say. Um, I have to agree and disagree with Melody on this one. I'm pushing back just a little bit because, as a man thinketh, so is he, right? So I do believe that what you think, you will say it out your mouth. So I agree with Melody that, when it comes to, Maurice, if he feels that way in his heart and in his mind, that is more concerning, but also to the fact that he said it was concerning, right? So I agree and disagree with Melody for sure, for sure. But still love her though, still love her. And this is the thing too, y'all. We gotta understand, recognize, and embrace. It's okay to agree to disagree, just as long as we do it respectfully. That's it. Because I feel that a lot of times in life, when we say that we want to be open, honest, and transparent, um, sometimes that openness, that honesty, that transparency, it can come across as, wrong or hurtful or, damaging. But in the same token that is true, we also have to recognize that in order to want healing, we have to come to the table wanting to heal. You know what I mean? So I will definitely say that for sure. Um, Maurice said that he put Kimmy in a bad spot, as she should have never felt that way. And Nell said, you did. And Tisha claps and said, that is so good, Maurice. So then, Maurice says if he could press the delete, if he could, he would press the delete button on what he said. All the conversation would go away. He would be the perfect husband again. Kimmy agrees on the delete button. Um, then Martell is asked about the wedding band on his finger. Tisha asks, is that the old wedding band? Nell said, where did you get the ring, sir? Kimmy also asked the same question as Tisha, is that his old wedding band? Melody said, I haven't looked, so I don't know. Martell said, wishful thinking, that's all. And Nell said, so do you think that Melody's going to take your ass back? And I'm just like, Nell, no, Melody told you under no circumstances at all not to include Melody and Martell in anything on this trip. And that includes conversation. And Marceau was like, guys, stop. Tisha was waving her hands as well. Um, and Marceau said, listen, well, stop it right here. We're not going to bring Martell and Melody into the conversation. Martell Holt, Melody Rogers. Um, and you know what, Marcel? I gotta give you credit for that. I'm not even gonna do the 0.01% of intelligence on it. That was full fledged intelligence, and I say well done. That don't mean you're gonna do ish later, but I'm proud of you for recognizing that. And even Tisha, with agreeing and saying yes. So Marcel and Tisha, good on y'all. Y'all still who you are, but I can give credit where credit is due. Okay. Um, so, Melody says, thank you. And Tisha said, look at him learn his lessons. And Melody says, yes. So Courtney has to run back to the airport because the babysitter has arrived. And Tisha said to Stormy, are you staying here or staying somewhere else? And Stormy said somewhere else. Um, and Stormy said that they brought Chess with them, and having a baby at the house wasn't going to work. And so Courtney said the Fletchers did a great job with the Houston trip, but he's not sharing the bathroom with no grown ass man. Um, and you know what? Honestly, to tell you the truth, I have to agree. Like, listen, I get it, all being under one roof, being able to create those bonds and connections and being able to forge a new vibe is amazing. And for the Fletchers doing that, I mean, even though this is a cast strip, okay, let's go ahead and be real about it. But even though it's a cast strip, I am proud that the Fletchers are taking ownership, responsibility, and their integrity of wanting to do the right thing. But also too, like I would stay at Embassy Suites if I was on the strip. Like y'all can have it. I'll just let me know what time to come to the house. I will spend time. I'll even stay after, for parties and stuff. But then I gotta go because I need my own space. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. And I think the fact that you know, in even though I think Stormy and Courtney should have, made sure the babysitter, had access to the house and stuff like that. Um, Still, with that being said, I'm proud of the fact that Stormy and Courtney tried to bring resources to help the trip be a little bit easier. And I just thought about maybe the reason why Stormy didn't want a baby at the house, even though this babysitter is probably qualified and very capable and highly worthy of Stormy and Courtney, is that still things can happen. That, if mom and dad are not there, because they're in Houston, things can happen. So I understand why Cormy, why I call him Cormy, Story and Courtney Cormy. Lord help. I meant to say I understand why Stormy and Courtney did what they did. I totally, 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 totally understand. Um, but yeah, so after all that, Marcel said, you want me to watch chess? And Courtney said, hell no, because you don't even watch your own kids. I'm like, oh my God. What the actual what? I'm just like, okay, that was a response. And listen, I'm surprised that the response didn't get any energy, but think um I don't think that in that experience of energy that and I give credit to Marcel because that could have been a situation like, dude, don't talk about my kids. You know what I mean? But that was a thing. So then it's all this. So then it was this. So then I'm sorry, y'all. So Martell tells Stormy and Courtney, be safe though. And Nell said that Marcel wouldn't be watching the baby. Chris Fletcher then asks, are you sure you don't want Marcel to watch the baby till y'all get back? And then Courtney once again says, Marcel don't even watch his own kids. And then this montage of this baby talk of Nell, they stretching out the baby word, repeating it, baby, baby, baby. Marcel wouldn't watch his own kid. And then Tisha, taking a sip of her wine and putting her hand on her chin, and then it comes out the montage, and Marcel said, "Why is all this talk about Marcel and baby's fault?" And I'm just like, "Oh no, oh no, oh no." So then Marcel asked Tisha, "Who did you tell?" And then Tisha's like, "What do you mean?" And Marcel says, "Who did you tell about the conversation that y'all had earlier?" Tisha said, "No, and that conversation has nothing to do with what Stormy and Courtney were going through." And Melody asked, "Do you want another baby, Tisha?" Marcel says no, but Marcel, you're not Tisha, so you can't say yes or no. She wants another baby. But anyway, um, Tisha, at the table says that she's been feeling sick, and the last time she was sick, she was pregnant, so she took a pregnancy test. Nell is smiling. Chris is like really with his face. Now these are all facial expressions, y'all. So Nell's smiling with her facial expression. Chris is like, really though? Um with his face. Melody is like, I know you lying. Kimmy makes a cringe face where she goes, and shakes her head back and forth. And then Maurice and Martell are laughing, plus Martell grabs Maurice. And then Melody says, "So what's wrong with that?" And Marceau brings up, "He had a vasectomy." Ooh, Lord. Tisha says it doesn't matter, Marceau. It was the fact that your first thought was I was cheating on you. Marceau says that I have faith in you, but I also believe in modern science. And Kimmy says a man is going to feel away because a man who has a vasectomy um, is going to feel the way that he feels. I know that that was just discombobulated, disjointed, and out of sorts. Let me rewind it, flip it, reverse it back. So basically, Kimmy said you have to understand that if a man has had a vasectomy, it will be reasonable for him to feel that way. Um, not to believe that Tisha could be pregnant. But Kimmy says in her confessional, there's been rumors that Tisha has blindly had to trust. Marceau, it's now time to trust your wife. And Tisha asks, "Do you trust me?" Marceau said, "I don't trust why you took a controlled pregnancy test." Kimmy is smiling. Melody has a cringe face. It's a simple yes or no for Tisha. Then Marcel says, "I have a lot of trust for you." And Tisha said, "So you don't trust me." Marcel then says, "After today, some questions have been raised." Melody said, "He trusts you as much as he trusts himself. Baby, don't you worry about it." I cannot with you. Um, Tisha then says, "I have never given you a reason not to trust me." And Marshall says, "Taking a pregnancy test is a good reason of sowing distrust." In so many words, he didn't say that, but that's what I took away from it. Marshall said that he can smile through anything because this is not how he feels. He said he was feeling vertigo earlier and that he's not going to get a lot of sleep tonight. Melody said, "You're not about to make a big deal to use as an excuse. She didn't cheat on you. There's a small percentage of you getting her pregnant. Leave it alone. Leave it alone." Marceau says, "Can't believe that they got guys in this world believing this stuff." "Believing in what?" Tisha said. Marceau said this stuff that vasectomies aren't 100%. And Kimmy said, "Well, that is a true statement that just because you get a vasectomy doesn't mean that you cannot get pregnant." Marceau understands, but he's going to believe in the 99.9%. Maurice said, "But not in your wife, though." And Tisha said, "Not in her, the person that he made a commitment to protect, profess, and provide." And Marcel then says, "Not over modern science." I'm like, oh, oh Lord, oh Lord. The heat is not the only thing hot in Houston. And listen, I know that Tisha has said that Melody has had a dark soul before, but I do agree that, with everything um, that has happened with Tisha and Marceau, the fact that Tisha has blindly trusted Marceau and Marceau can't trust her, I do think that is wrong. With everything that's been said, I think that is completely wrong. Um, You know what I mean? And so Melody then says, she has trusted you with the back photo. You have not directly answered her questions about cheating. And then a montage of Marcel being challenged of his cheating. There was one with 25 girlfriends, and then Uncle Wanda talked about, um, somebody bringing wine over, a conversation with that, and then Tisha, not Tisha, but Uncle Wanda was asking Marcel a question as well. Um, you know, and it's just like, you know what, honestly, with that montage, with everything that's been said on social media about you, Marcel, it makes you look bad, bro, that you don't trust your wife, even though all these things are out here, right? And that she blindly trusts you, right? Even when Kiki tried to bring you a something that she heard, you still blindly trusted him. And so this is just ooh, okay, okay. Tisha said, "I trust you. Um, and you need to trust me. You only have blind trust for you, but you can't have blind trust for her." And Melody is, I think, comforting Kimmy. Marcel then hopes that this is just a crazy moment. Kimmy says it's over, but Marcel says not, because his present is here now. Tisha says it's negative. The pregnancy test is negative, so it don't matter. Nell said the men can go continue that conversation on. The ladies are going to go elsewhere. And honestly, to tell you the truth, I truly, 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 truly believe that right is right and wrong is wrong. Like, to have a relationship, and I know what you guys are going to say. Well, they're married. Well, guess what? There's a relationship exchange in a marriage, okay? But for Marceau to have done all that he's done, gone to Africa, by himself, and going to Colombia, like, you gotta admit, like, you can feel Tisha's pain in this. So, listen, Marcel, I think just admit to your wrong and move on. That's the best thing I can tell you. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. That's my take on part one of Houston, okay? Part one of Houston. Much more to come. Bye. Oh, like, comment, share, and subscribe. One love, much love, all love now. Bye. Yeah. Bye. Yeah. Bye, everybody. Bye.